This episode contains sensitive topics. Discretion is advised.
Welcome into the Lusty Lounge, folks. Please take your seats. The waitress will be along shortly. Today, I'm your host, Puce, as always, with my co-host, Suna.
Hello.
And my other co-host, who is finally off for leave of absence, hopefully for good now, Minka.
I'm back.
And today we have a lovely guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Mother Velzea of the Latex corruption cult. It's a pleasure to be here. I'll take an appletini, please.
We'll get you that as fast as possible.
Good choice.
So, Vel, we decided to bring you on because it seems like and sounds like you are a very latex-oriented person. Or at least you seem to know your way around a latex item or two.
Oh, very much. I've used latex in multiple forms, modeling, and just for my dominatrix work. It's a passion I've had since I was very young, latex fashion. So I am very excited to share with all of you.
All right, let's start with, how did you get into latex?
Are you asking what awoken my kink in this?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm supposed to mean. Sorry,
Okay.
waking up still.
Sorry. Basically, I kind of awoken it through a certain kid's cartoon show and a certain movie.
It sounds about right. It's always the kid shows.
Oh, God, yeah. One particularly known as Totally Spies.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That checks
doesn't
out.
shock me at all.
that show awoken a lot of kinks in people. But the girls would always wear these latex spy uniforms. And there's like one episode, if I remember correctly, where they dressed up in like literal latex cat suits. And it's all like squeaky and creaky as they get through like a castle or something. That show was nothing but fetishes, and I loved it.
Alright, but the show was like good and had they changed their outfits every fucking episode, so it has all my respect.
Oh, God, yeah. Apparently, they're making the reboot. Like, I think an opening's already out for it now.
I would definitely have to look into that. I hope they would do it justice, but
Sadly,
everything else they've been doing hasn't been doing
they
well.
couldn't get the old original voice actors back, so no Jenna Hale as Sam.
I wish I knew who voice actors were.
I mean, you know Sam's voice. It's fine.
It's FemShep.
Oh, is that really? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Fake fan.
Yeah, that's fair.
How dare you? I and the Totally Spies community shall shun you now. Shunned. I'm kidding.
So you said a cartoon and a movie? Do you remember
Yes.
what movie, or was it the Totally Spies movie? Because I feel like there was one, if I remember correctly.
Well, the movie I'm talking about is particularly a Batman movie. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it featured Catwoman. It was one of the older ones. And she had like a full-on PVC catsuit on. It was woken a lot of things in me.
Oh, was that the
Yeah.
one with the cat suit that was like all stitches and stuff?
Yes,
Am I
and it
thinking
had
of a
the
different
very
one?
shiny PVC look.
Okay.
How the fuck do you stitch latex? Now I'm confused.
Well, you don't
I
really
think it
stitch it,
was
you
more
seam
incorporated.
it. And they glue it together.
So stitches would just be there for added
Aesthetic.
effect.
And by
Yeah.
looks of the outfit, it's more PVC than latex. PVC is the cousin material to latex, where it doesn't really trigger any allergies, but it's a lot more stiffer. It's a bit cheaper
Okay, see,
too.
now I'm confused. Because when I hear PVC, I think of PVC pipe and anime figures, because most anime figures are PVC. Because I have a PVC pipe next to me. It's holding my tapestry that's too big for my room.
Well, it's
So like,
plastic.
what is PVC?
Also, it's plastic, rubber, stuff like that. It's material. It's the fetish of a shiny material that makes my monkey brain go, ugh.
But I think PVC is like hard and unmoving. So how do you make it like move?
It's more stiff. It's not exactly the same thing they do with PVC piping and figures. It's more, how do I describe it? It's flexible, more flexible, but not as flexible or skin tight as latex.
Okay, I'm going to use my science brain and assume it just has less atoms.
Just do Todd Howard. It just works.
Oh God.
Trust me, there's a shit ton of latex mods for Skyrim.
I know. I know.
Oh, you know. Noted.
Yeah. I've seen them. I don't play Skyrim.
I used them. I mean, what?
When I hear latex, I automatically assume BDSM, but I feel like that's not the case because I feel like I'm just always wrong. So do you have to be in the BDSM to be in the latex?
Oh, God, no. Though there is a good connection with latex and BDSM, as a lot of dominatrixes use it in fashion when it comes to their sessions, as long as the client is not allergic. That's like a key thing here. If you want to get into latex, you have to make sure you don't have a latex allergy.
That would be pretty bad if you got into it and had
Oh,
no
God,
allergy.
yeah. So I'm going to say latex is also a fashion. A less common one, but it is fashion. Some people like.
I was gonna say that's definitely a fashion that some people make less kinky and more just artsy and look good.
On some level. Although there is some bad stigma with latex as late, because like recent seasons, like American Horror Story features like a murderer fetishist that dresses up in full latex.
Wait, they still make that show?
Apparently.
Oh.
They're on like season 8 or 9, I
sad.
think.
9?
Yeah. It's been quite a while. I don't know what they do anymore. I think something this last season focused on like a witch or something.
They've done 12 seasons.
Oh my
Really?
god.
12?
The last season I watched featured vampires, I think Lady Gaga. I can't remember.
I'm gonna stick with my anime and other random shit people suggest to me.
Alright, you weeb.
You goddamn right.
This sounds like one of my Japanese animes.
Correct.
So this is kind of a two-part question. We were, well, mostly Suna and I, because I feel like Minka's got some experience with latex.
Mm-hmm.
How hot and sweaty does it get when you're wearing latex?
On a scale to 1 to 10, very.
Oh, not for me.
You
Not
need
for
a
me.
certain mindset and endurance to be able to wear latex casually. I know some people who wear it nearly 24/7 as like a part of a fetish thing. Like there's some really like great latex models out there that do tend to just wear latex for streams and like sleeping streams some people do.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay. I definitely
A
don't think
key
I could deal
issue
with that.
with that is to always remain hydrated. Always have water nearby. And also do this in a cold room. So, yeah. I have some UK friends who are into latex and can't wear any of it during the summer because they don't have central air in most of their buildings. So, my feelings go out to them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like they definitely have an issue with AC, so must kind of suck for them.
Mm-hmm. Air conditioning is not that common in that part of the world, so unfortunately.
All those old buildings and junk.
So now I'm wondering if every picture of a person in a suit I've seen is in like the coldest room ever, or they just run cold naturally.
Possibly.
I could not. That's not for me. Couldn't do it.
I've seen some
I
weird
run
videos
hot
of
naturally.
people pulling open their latex suits and letting all that gross sweat out of their
Oh, cleaning
legs and
and
arming.
maintenance is a key factor.
Yep, that's why I was going to slide one of
you wanna talk
the
about it?
later questions up and ask you about how to maintain your latex.
Well, it's common for you to shine your latex at least once a month. At least that's how I do it with latex shiner. There are some brands that are overpriced and expensive, like on Amazon stuff. I know there's some people who tend to use, tire cleaner to shine their latex. Don't quote me. It's been a while. I personally don't
That's a
do
choice.
it, but it's,
No, I can see that.
yeah.
All right, so walk us through a standard order of maintenance. Like say you're taking out one of your outfits to clean off, and then shine, and then put away for the day.
Well, it kind of depends. I basically, let's just say I'm cleaning one of my opera gloves. I personally like to bring it into the bathroom, maybe hang it over my shower, the shower rack. And I usually take the latex shiner and put it into a small rag or onto the latex itself. Then slowly shine it and maintain it. Unfortunately, there have been times where the latex shiner is very, very slippery. Okay, I fall on my ass and spilled an entire bottle of latex shiner in my bathroom. That room smelled of
I'm
latex for
sorry.
days. I was happy, but my ass wasn't. I fell on my ass really hard.
That would kind of suck.
Kinda.
Just kinda.
Just a little bit.
So I've seen some folks in videos and stuff because I've just been bored and watched way too much TikTok sometimes. Spread baby powder on their latex outfits. Is there a reason behind that?
Well, like it's easier to slide it on. Latex is really hard to put on. That's why people use a lubricant to get the latex on. And there's no trick to it. It's just brutally long and tiresome to get latex on. It's even more so if you have hair. I've seen many men who are like the bare bara type spend ages putting latex on, and I feel sorry because they're really hairy.
That would be pretty rough. I put on latex gloves, and even that takes forever if you're not doing it right. So,
I remember science class. Yeah, you're right.
Mingo, you've been pretty quiet over there. You got any input so far?
I mean, not a lot. Like, this is stuff that I've been aware of. So, figured I'd kind of let you go through the questions first, and to go from there.
That's fair. So.
All right. Wait.
Go ahead, Suna.
I want to go. Grandpa's tired. As a vanilla bitch, much like my friend next to me here, how does someone just try latex? Like, how do you get into it? Like, where do you go? How do you do it?
If you're asking like your first latex item should be, I highly recommend going with gloves.
Mm-hmm.
They are the most easy barrier to entry, and you're not spending hundreds of dollars on a full cat suit only to discover, hey, I don't like this feeling. Or, well, you may have a latex allergy. Then I would say swap over to PVC style clothing.
Okay.
Super random question.
Okay.
There's latex gloves. Are there latex socks?
Yes, latex stockings are a thing. There are actually special made types of latex footwear that gives like individual holes for toes.
Oh God. Oh, that made it worse. Oh God. Oh,
How's that
now
worse?
Because now I really don't have a foot fetish. Oh God. Oh. You said it was hot, and I've got some hair on my toes, so it'd be impossible to get on. That sounds awful for me.
Some of my
each their
favorite
own.
ones are the clear latex ones that make it look like you're just like a plastic doll.
Oh, yes, like with a tan sheen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Very lovely. See-through latex is great. I personally don't like
It
it.
sounds expensive though.
Latex in general is expensive.
What's the going rate for the average suit?
Well, it depends. Are you getting it custom made, custom size? Because it's mostly important to actually have that custom to your size. You need to make sure your measurements are on point when you're getting a request for a commission for a latex suit. Up to hundreds of dollars, even thousands, if I can remember right. If it's like the top of the line, just handmade, it's just, you know, it's an expensive passion and hobby. That's why a lot of people tend to go for PVC. It's way cheaper. Or wet look.
Do they? Or what?
Wet look. It's a clothing style that mimics latex without the rubber and the general shining. I have like a pet peeve whenever I see someone use wet look stuff and just say, oh, it's latex. Honey, no, I can see the dimples. That's wet look.
So you know your way around latex enough to spot the differences.
Yes.
Minka, are you that good with latex? You can spot latex from different stuff?
Yeah, latex has a very distinct look.
Mm-hmm.
And sound, probably.
Oh, yeah. It's not like loud creaking. If it's like properly shined, it's just like slick noises. The creaking comes from, again, PVC, because that's less flexible, so it creaks a lot more. Great sound, though. I love it.
Okay, that's fair. I never really thought about that part of the whole look and kink in general.
I don't see why not. We're an audio podcast. You should be thinking about sound sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, you got me there.
I was bullshitting you, dog. I'm sorry. I didn't think you'd take it that seriously. That's my bad.
Hey, someone out there is very turned on by listening to us talk about random bullshit every other week.
Why would you? Okay. You know what? I did that to myself. Can't be mad. I want to be mad. Can't be mad.
Honey, you're running a kink-based podcast.
Somebody likes
sort of. So we're sort of. We don't know what we're doing.
Hey, we can act like it.
You can act like it. I will admit I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Fake it till you make it. That's all you gotta remember.
I don't like that.
Well,
That's disingenuous.
By the sounds of it, you're the straight man of the podcast.
I'm grandpa. Well, they weren't with me at the convention. I'm grandpa now. I'm old and tired.
Oh.
It is too early to be conscious.
All right, this next question will definitely give away how little Suna and I have little we know about latex.
No. We know what the difference is. We're trying to be the everyman, and like, what if someone doesn't know the difference? Because at the end of the day, it's just different material. Like you said, the PVC from latex. But go ahead, ask your question.
Oh, okay. Make yourself
Not because we're stupid.
Smart.
We understand.
Make yourself sound smart. Okay, gotcha.
I'm not trying to make ourselves sound smart. I'm doing damage control. There's difference.
Okay. So, what's the difference when it comes to latex and leather?
Latex comes from trees. If it's like the literal differences. And leather comes from animals, if it's not fake leather. Latex is made of tree blood.
I was gonna say it's like tree sap, isn't it? I forget
Sorta,
what kind
yeah.
of tree, but it's like a tree sap or something.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't know that. I thought it was like not plastic.
Just not plastic.
Yeah, that's how I categorize it in my head. It's just synthetic bullshit. And now I feel dumb. I feel really dumb now.
Honey, it's okay. Rubber comes from a special type of tree. There's actually... Nah, I won't go into history.
Oh, trust me, we deep dive into random stuff, so go into the history.
Okay. I'm only remembering this off of extra credits videos, but apparently Henry Ford got his rubber from, South Africa, Brazil, I can't remember. Basically from
Sounds
trees.
about right.
South Africa.
And he made a literal plantation for rubber for cars back in the day. It's very interesting. And how much of a piece of shit he was.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
Just look up extra credits, Ford.
All right, audience, you heard her. Go do that after you listen to our podcast.
Go learn.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
that's not how
people
it
that don't even realize that, like, tires basically start their journey into creation as a tree. Because it just seems so weird that you take a tree and then, like, process it and do all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden you have a rubber tire. It just does not seem to be one of those natural things, but...
No, it doesn't. Especially for where I live, they don't talk about the tree part at all.
Yeah, it seems very bizarre if you've never heard about it.
Yeah, most people just get the surface look to when it comes to rubber. It just... it's hard to just explain it to people, but we jokingly, like it's an inside joke, that our clothing is made of tree blood.
That's fair. It does make it sound much more badass.
Yo, I
Kind of.
just realized something.
What did you realize, Suna?
The vegans can't complain about latex. It's the one thing they can do and not be, like, all up in your face about.
That's a good point.
Well, they usually go for the vegan leather.
We're talking about latex, homie. Let me have this.
Okay.
I'm trying to find an argument that a vegan wouldn't like latex, but I can't.
No,
think
well,
of it.
no. I'm saying now they have a thing that they can do that isn't super annoying.
No, they have to have their annoying stuff. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. Well, I tried to give the vegans a point. Well, I tried vegans. I'm sorry.
It's funny you should say that. I know a good chunk of vegans who are into latex. Most of them are models. So,
Well, look
I
at you,
will-
Suna.
I will take
You're a
that.
genius.
I will take this point. All right, you're abused. Ask the question.
So moving slightly away from latex, because you mentioned you were a dom at least a couple times now.
professional.
How did you realize you were a dom and not a sub or a switch or any of the other categories?
Well, it just felt natural to me. I'm able to express an energy that I rarely get to do in my personal life. I'll be blunt, I came up from a really hyper-controlling household. So the thought
Christian?
of submitting and my autonomy being taken away fucking sends me into fight or flight. So the thought of submitting to someone is a no-go.
Sounds like a good Christian upbringing. Yeah.
An Irish Christian
Ooh.
If I was a toxic guy, I would just say, "Oh, you haven't met the right person to be your dom."
Sorry, I died a little inside. You have no idea how many of those schmucks DM me with that shit.
Oh, I am sure that is a line that is used way too often in your
Yes,
DMs.
I've shared this story multiple times, but I'm going to share it here.
Yes.
There's this one time, a guy who looked like he was like fucking 19, like straight out of high school with that like, was it tender, poofy hair?
Oh,
Messaging me saying,
Oh, you're too cute to be a dom. Come sit on daddy's lap, kitten.
Niggas really just say that shit ironically, and I'm like, please don't.
Yeah, these are the
Like,
same guys who
stop.
don't understand why women choose the bear.
like,
Oh god, the bear and the
I
man
just, I
conversation.
fucking hate this new meme. God damn it, I hate this new meme.
they do this to professional doms. It's like going to this is a Wendy's, sir, of the
See, that's
BDSM
a
world.
good meme.
But counterpoint to that, what's actually interesting too is like me as a sub, like I will get guys all the time too that they want to be the subs and everything. And they'll come to me and my profiles and everything will be like, I'm a bottom, I'm a sub. Like, that's who I am. I'm not a switch, I'm not a top. And they'll come to me and message me and be like, oh, well, do you want to dom me? And I'll be like, no, I'm a sub. And they'll be like, well, could you maybe try? And it's just like, my guy, like,
Could you try?
yeah, it's like, I've tried being dominant in the past, and guess what? Doesn't do anything for me. So no, I'm not going to do it for you just because you're like talking to every single woman on the internet trying to find someone who wants to work with you, even though you are completely disregarding all the information you have about them.
Yep.
I'm the little spoon, bitch.
Exactly.
No, I get that. You seem like you know how to take care of people.
Are you referring to me or?
Whoever was listening.
What?
Yep.
I don't
It's,
think I understood the comment.
He's saying we all are dumb in a little way.
No, it's not what I'm saying at all. I said you seem like you know how to take care of people.
Like, put them in their place, take care of?
No.
English is fun, guys. Very fun.
You got, like,
multiple meanings throughout that.
You've got like
entire
the mom
sentence.
energy, but even more so because of your life situation, and you can't have any time for yourself. So yeah, it's big mom energy right now. I'm tired. Go ask your dad.
My dad's dead.
Oof.
That was okay. All right, you took my joke and you took. All right, that's fine. I can make it more fucked up, but I don't really want to.
It's alright, he's been dead for 12 years.
A good thing or a bad thing?
You know, it's been 12 years, so it was a bad thing when it happened, and it, you know, it's still not great, but like,
Also, you liked your dad.
yeah, he was pretty good.
I
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Coming from you and how you grew up. I would assume you hate both your parents.
No, my parents were actually, you know, like, they weren't perfect, but no, my parents are great.
Woo.
Woo! Latex.
Yippee.
So, next question. I don't think I understand
Yeah.
this question. How does your outside life contribute to you being a dom? Which I don't think I understand the question, but
As in, does my
I ask.
dominatrix stuff affects my personal life?
yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, I had an explanation because Minka gave a very good explanation like a year ago.
Oh, shoot, then, Suna.
So, like most upper like stress people who do like big boy and big girl and big people jobs tend to be subs because their personal life is all just in control, on top, all that other stressful bullshit. So they do sub stuff in the bedroom because they don't have to be in control. They can just relax.
Oh, yes. I can understand the mindset to this. Some people do find enjoyment and relaxation within a submissive role, I've noticed. The idea of taking away your autonomy and just letting someone control you is common when it comes to submission. As if you're asking me how it affects me, if we're going to go like a little too like on the nose hard, I'm basically using, you know, the whole the generational abuse thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amounts of my parents did to me was pretty nuts. And to avoid that, I use the generational abuse in a form that people would enjoy and get enjoyment out of, not harming children. I use the mannerisms my parents did, the manipulation, the shaming, and the mockery to submissives so I can, you know, safely and happily use trauma to give someone a really good time.
Woo. Drama.
All right, Puce, that's going to be the clip. That's going to be the clip.
What?
Hey,
That-
if you can
that whole
remember the
sentence.
timestamp, that's all on you.
I don't. That's your job. It's your job.
Hey, all good. We have our Minka therapy moments, so
Therapy with Minka. No, I think that actually is great because, everybody generally deals from some kind of trauma, and like being able to find healthy ways to deal with it and output what you need to is very important. And so, yeah, like there is a reality. Like, obviously, you don't want somebody who's like, oh, I'm just super pissed and angry and I'm just going to beat the shit out of someone and not care about them. Like, that's not good.
That's
But
not
being able to.
dominatrixing, that's abuse.
Right, that's abuse. And so it's like, yeah, taking these things and being able to healthily use them in a way that like two or more consenting adults can benefit from is great. Therapy with Minka.
That's the key factor here. Consent. It's my favorite word, and nothing more sexy is consent.
Yep.
oh, we've never heard of consent in this podcast.
Oh, shut up.
This is why no one likes you.
That's fair.
So anyway, is there any other question?
Oh, of course.
What kind of dom are you?
Good question. Okay.
Willie, was that an actual question or?
Yes.
Oh. I like to think of myself as a Jacqueline of all trades style dom. I can do almost anything, but my main talent goes towards verbal humiliation and general abuse. God, not that word. How do I describe it? Basically, I fuck with people while I dominate them.
Okay. That's fair. That's a very straightforward one.
Yeah, I'm very much a sadist. And a key thing with my sessions is dialogue and improv. Because a slave needs to know their role as a slave and my role as a dom. It is, in some level, a performance.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand that.
It's not like I'm not saying I'm faking it. I'm saying I'm making sure this person knows I am in control and I own them.
Oh, yeah. Just because something is a performance doesn't mean it's not real. It's just
Exactly.
more accurately controlled.
I've seen wrestling. Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
Yes, I actually made comparisons to wrestling
Oh.
when it comes to dominatrixing. Because the dialogue stuff is just being a heel on the mic.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I
Maybe with a session like in the future, I walk in the room like Vince McMahon.
Oh, please, anyone but him. Please, anyone but
No,
him.
the stupid walk he does makes you laugh. He's a piece of shit.
That's being nice, yeah.
Very nice. I'm being polite. No, he's a scumbag piece of shit.
Hell yeah. What kind of subs do you like, if that's a real question?
Are you asking how I pin someone in the ring or a submissive?
Ooh, this is going to be a great bit, I can already tell.
So what kind of subs do you like?
It's easier to say what kinds of subs I don't like. There's a subgroup, literally, known as sissies, who are into forced feminization. I don't like working with them because most of the times they're just kind of, they just demand me to do stuff for free when it comes to the session. Like, bring my own makeup and shit. They need to bring their supplies if they want to partake in that. The other type of, I'm just going to say call them possible clients, I put on my blacklist because I have a blacklist of kinks that I will never do a session with. One particularly being people who are into diaper kink. They have so many fucking meltdowns when I tell them, I'm sorry, I do not cater to your fetish. And they act like fucking babies. Like, temper tantrum and all. One of them called me a fake dom once.
I mean, that sounds fitting for somebody who's into diapers to act like a baby.
I know, right? Because, I don't see... Because kink is finding sexual arousal from things that are not conceptually arousing. That's what kinks are. So, all I see when it comes to diapers is me babysitting my little nieces growing up. And that just makes me feel uncomfortable on so many levels. No shame to anyone who's into that kink. As long as you're happy, sane, and consenting, you are allowed to enjoy it. Full hog. Just when it comes to the professional scene, it just seems like I always get the overly defensive and crazy ones.
I prefer a nice meatball sub or a Philly cheesesteak, but you went in depth, so yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, not okay.
See, that's why I figured a one-liner would have been better, but I wanted to let you have your moment.
Well, no, they gave a real answer, and then they kept going. I'm like, oh, all right, well.
Damn, how dare we expect our guest to give us a real answer?
Hey, I'm just giving a story. I'm sharing what it's like to be a professional dominatrix.
No, and I appreciate that. I just thought the answer would be shorter.
So that's kind of interesting with your insight on those, based on some of my insights on stuff. So like with sissification, I could see why they potentially are kind of like that, because I think part of the fantasy is that like they have either just a friend who's a girl or a girlfriend or a wife or something, and the fantasy is that they come and they're like, oh, I'm going to turn you into a girl, and so it's this forced sissification. And so I think in their head, part of that is that, you know, they don't have the stuff, because if they have the stuff, it's not really a forced thing. It's the other person brings it and pushes it onto them. And so I could see why in their head they may not have connected that, oh no, this is a kink. And even though it's my fantasy, like I still need to translate that into, like you said, this performance, because that's what fantasies are, is things that don't naturally happen in real life. And so, yeah, sometimes you have to accommodate that. And then with the ABDL stuff and like the age players, I've had interesting experiences with them as well, where like just from interacting with different ones in the community and stuff, where I've seen some of them who seem to take that, because when you're young, you're selfish, because that's just all you know. You're not mentally and emotionally developed. Like all you can think about is your personal needs and desires at that time. That's all you know how to do. And that's fine. That's what kids are. That's what kids do. But I have seen that a handful of them, then even when they're not in that headspace, still tend to kind of continue that, no, this is what I want, this is what I need kind of mentality. And like that's when it becomes a little bit problematic, because then it's just like, no, now you're transferring this into the real world and treating people in a way that like is not respectful.
Exactly.
All right, Minka, I'm sure that was a very insightful thing, but what is ABDL?
Adult baby.
Diaper lover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A-
Sorry, it's been ages since I've like
Okay, so it was what I was
researched
thinking
that
when you
kink.
first said it. I was like, adult baby diaper lover. And I was like, no, that can't be it. That's too simple. And then it was that simple.
Yeah, and
I had a whole ass point I was gonna make, and I was fucking gone.
a good distinction too, for people out there, not all age players are diaper lovers and diaper wearers.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah,
There
like,
is, was it the Daddy and the Little, I believe, that form of age play.
Mm-hmm. And age players, like, they can do age play of all sorts of different ages. Like, you can have the ones where they're like, oh no, like they are a baby, and then you can have age players where it's like they're 2, they're 4, they're 6, whatever. It's like, it's basically based on the person who's going into that age play headspace, not the mommy or the daddy at the time or the parent, but the person who's going into that headspace. It's kind of just whatever age they go to in that headspace. And sometimes, you know, it's based off of some trauma in the past that they're kind of want to rewrite. And so, like, maybe it was a bad time in their life, and so they're like, no, I want to be able to be a 4-year-old and, like, you know, not have to remember this terrible shit that happened.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Woo. All the smarts.
Are you okay?
Me?
It's like it's like the 5th time you've even said woo.
I'm tired. I just woke up as well. This is me trying to be
Shit suck.
energetic.
You're not doing a convincing job.
Oh, I'll try harder next time I woo.
You don't have to. It's okay.
I'll woo with
Look,
enthusiasm.
At
he's
least
just
you
doing-
can see.
He's just
I can't
doing
see
his
shit. I'm
best.
still mad my glasses are broke. Like I'm
I was
mad,
like, how the heck has it been 45 minutes and this man's eyes haven't adjusted to being awake yet? It's just that your
Because I
glasses
wear
are broken.
glasses.
Thank God. I was like, I think you're blind, sir.
it's all right. The new ones get here next week.
I mean, he's
Look.
just doing his best Ric Flair impression. That's all.
That's fair. I don't know who Ric Flair is, so I'll take your word
Wrestler.
for it.
Don't feel bad. I also only know about wrestling through my brother and Tectone, so don't feel bad.
So,
God,
shall
I'd
we
love
move
to
on
have
to another
Tectone
question?
show.
Yep, sorry. I had a big
No
yawn.
worries.
How important is communication in all the adult things that you do?
And latex. I don't know.
That's the adult thing. I hate you. God, I fucking hate you sometimes.
Hey, some
Oh, no,
people
it's
like
all
to dress
good.
their kids in latex, I'm sure. I doubt that's comfortable or even
Don't.
kind.
Kids should not be wearing latex. That is a serious, hard no.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a detriment to life. All right,
So what
but
was the
back to the
question?
question.
How important is communication in the stuff that you do?
It's the first thing that always comes first before our session begins. Communication is the key to a healthy BDSM relationship, and it's basically the foundation of what a session can be. It's most of the time it's just like setting up safe words, hard limits, stuff like that.
Kind of a once over to know what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
Setting
right,
up the boundaries.
New question, because my body is rejecting me and this fucking sucks. So let's say I have never done any of the stuff you do. I come up to you because fuck it, we're in person now because I said so, and I'm like, I would like a starter trial session. How does that happen? How do we go about doing that?
Well, since I am a professional, I tend to get paid for that. That's kind of like the first
Well, yeah,
thing.
well, yeah.
But
The payment is assumed because professional.
Yes, exactly. It is, we sit down, we discuss what kind of kink, and depending on what kind of kink, I may be able to provide a good service or not. If you're coming in with a kink that I'm not familiar with, I'll try my best to research
No.
it if it's not.
I have no kink. I'm coming to you to go. I want to know the stuff you do to see if I like the stuff you do, like the latex and the domination type stuff.
He comes in completely vanilla, unaware of all this, and somehow
That's
searching for a dom.
That's kind of a tricky one. Most of the time, the clients are already like in the scene.
Yeah,
But
usually if
it's like-
somebody's gonna pay for it, they know what they want.
Well, I'm coming at you with like the Anthony Padilla type energy. I don't know what you do. I'm gonna just give you the money and you're gonna do the thing.
He's a good reviewer. Not reviewer, interviewer. I like his stuff.
I have never seen an episode with him. I just know what he does.
He does a good job.
Well, does he do that anymore since Smosh was the thing again?
Yeah, he still does it.
Oh my
So
god, I
he's-
was like fucking 10 or 9 when Smosh was like at its
Stop, please,
peak.
please stop.
Being one of the
Boxman was a
now
thing.
owners, he's
Food
just
Wars.
kind of there.
Oh god, no, I feel fucking.
Oh,
old again.
this nostalgia. Okay. I would say we sit down and just discuss. It would be a very longer communication session to ID what you could possibly like. It's having a blank slate is very difficult. We could be testing out various kinks and going with the whole yellow card, red card safe words. Basically, I like to use this personally, and including a safe word that is like a hard stop. I have myself say yellow card, which is basically slow down, I might not like this. And red card being hard no, we're stopping, we're sitting down, we're communicating. This is a scenario that is not comfortable.
All right, that's insightful. I want to say things, but I can't.
I thought that thought was going somewhere.
Yeah, it's like kind of just you left it there, Suna. It's just hanging there.
No, the fucking cat's like, yo, come here, and I'm like, no, stay on the goddamn bed, you stupid fuck.
He doesn't like the cat.
No, it's not that. It's whenever I'm like, I'm gonna do something at my computer, he's like, hey, yo, me too, and I'm like, no, not you two. Stay on the fucking bed. You were looking out the window for 2 goddamn hours. Just keep doing that.
Rather, I require sustenance.
Not my cat. House cat.
All right. So, next question on the itinerary. So hopefully you have subs or submissives that come to you in all shapes and sizes. What would you say your men to women ratio would be?
I would say 80% men to 20% women.
Hot.
I mean, I'm also including trans women, obviously, so.
The statement still stands.
Yep. Any other questions?
I don't know, Minka, you ask a question.
Well, I just, because of my ADHD brain, to make you feel a little younger, Suna, YouTube wasn't even created until I was most of the way through high school. So,
okay, that does make me feel a little better.
Yeah.
YouTube started in like 2004?
Hey,
2006,
oh, damn.
actually.
Oh,
fuck up.
February 14th, 2005 is when it launched.
Minka, did you go on a whole like ADHD rabbit hole just now?
Oh, I just searched when
Or
was
you just
YouTube
know
created.
that? Okay. I thought you went like on a whole rabbit hole adventure there without us.
No.
Okay.
Why'd you want to be a VTuber?
I liked it. I had friends who were VTubers, so I was like, hey, I stream. I VTuber now. So I got artist and a rigger. So now I'm a VTuber.
Damn, that goddamn it, super simple answer.
I was saying that rigor means so many different things now on this podcast.
Oh, it's the person who rigs up VTuber models to make them move. Because they are
see-
flat images by design. So there are people
I know
who rig
that.
it.
You know that. Minka knows that. Why are you being extra? What you being difficult for?
Because it's the whole BDSM thing. There's people who rig stuff in BDSM.
It's true. There are
Well, that's true, too.
Or am I crazy?
Yeah, no, there are riggers in BDSM, and those
Yeah.
are the
We're
people
talking
who
about
do
VTubers here.
those are the people who do like rope play and stuff.
Hey, I was tying it back to our whole podcast being about BDSM and stuff.
Our whole podcast is not about BDSM. I'm gonna take your dog. I will drive the 6 hours and take your dog. It's
No,
early and I don't
puppy.
work today.
BDSM fits into what our podcast is about, but it's not what it's entirely about.
Yeah, my brain didn't word all the things, so.
So
Yeah, there we go. That sounds more like abuse.
do you, between your VTubing and your pro doming, do you make a living off of that, or is it still kind of more side stuff and you have like another job that you do?
It's my side hustle, more or less. I do have a full-time job. I work for the man,
Same.
local governments, but basically,
Same.
yeah, I do the VTubing and dominatrix stuff as a side gig, like more of a hobby than anything else. I would love, it's a dream of mine, to own my own dungeon one day.
Nice.
That sounds expensive as shit.
Possibly, but what are you gonna do?
Castles go for a pretty high rate nowadays.
You have to buy a whole building, get all the equipment, have all the stuff to maintain the equipment.
No, you
That all
could
sounds
no.
expensive.
you could literally
No,
have
no.
a house and like you could make a dungeon in like a basement or a big
Oh
room.
god, yeah.
Minka, you know how much houses cost? That also is fucking expensive.
Okay, yes,
I
but I
mean,
also know
there are
I've lived
some-
in.
I know, and I'm saying no matter what, it's gonna sound expensive.
It's also, I've known some doms to use basically rented out space and or their actual basements they've refurbished into their own playrooms.
That makes me wonder now, is there on-the-go Dom setups? Dungeon setups?
Like,
I hate what you said, but god damn, that is
oh
a
my
good
god,
question.
I should like get an RV and turn it into a portable dungeon.
I feel like that's doable.
I feel like that's a way better idea than the stationary, because now you could literally just drive all over America and do that.
All right, we're copywriting that right now. Nobody else can claim our idea of the mobile dungeon.
The dungeon
mean-
mobile.
It's probably a thing. It's just not that well advertised, because them God-fearing Christians scared of everything.
A whip-wielding, leather-loving, sensuality, sadistic, mobile mistress cruising the highways and byways.
Did you just Google that, Minka?
Of course I did.
Oh, that's
See.
cool.
Dungeon in a bag, mobile dungeon. Turning my
Dang it,
camper
it is
into
a
a
thing.
private mobile BDSM dungeon.
Listen, all the original ideas are gone.
Hey,
true.
I was hoping that the BDSM community wasn't inventive in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
and
you
didn't
kidding
have
me?
my idea.
You think the people who figure out every way they can to get their rocks off,
Rocks off.
haven't thought of everything?
That was part of the joke. I'm glad you guys picked up on it.
Nah, I still just think you're kind of dumb, but we did just literally wake up, so, I give you the benefit of the doubt.
Joke's on you. I'm always dumb.
Yeah,
I know.
I usually like the Italian herbs and cheese with a BLT.
Woo. Way to have that call back, Minka.
I was gonna say, did you just make a funny? A long-term funny?
I thought it was pretty good.
I had another question. Brain, come on. Are you a snake because BDSM? Question mark.
What?
What?
You're a VTuber. I don't think
Oh.
she's a snake, though. You're not a
Oh.
snake, are you?
No. I
Okay, I
am
was going to say, I don't think you are.
I am a corrupt latex-clad nun that corrupts other people with her headdress made of tentacles.
That's what
Made
I'm
of
thinking.
latex.
Tentacles. There it is. Taking the tentacles. They do the slithery bullshits. Yeah.
They do
Actu-
the slithery.
Snake. Actually, would you mind explaining what latex corruption in and of itself is?
Well, it's more of a fetish thing, fetish fantasy. Basically turning someone into my latex-clad thrall. It's the henchman style idea of it. There's also another sub-kink known as dronification that's really popular nowadays. It's the kink of identity loss. Basically, to look similar, and people do that by dressing up in full latex, covering all skin, and just wearing a mask similar to others. I highly recommend checking up Hex Mistress. HEXMXSTESS. For drum kink.
I think I know that artist.
They are a lovely model. I've interviewed them myself, actually, a while ago.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and from my knowledge of it, it is oftentimes has something to do with, like having some latex blob or ball or perhaps hat or tentacle that basically comes into contact with them, and then the latex kind of spreads out over their body, and so then all of a sudden they're in latex, but it also encapsulates their mind and everything.
Yep.
God, this sounds like one of the fucking monsters we did the game with.
It's-
Smash or pass with.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
basic-
exactly where my brain went.
Basically, imagine the symbiote from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Except actually made of latex and not just slime.
It's just
Space
shiny,
goop.
slimy goo. Is there any other
How do
questions?
you feel about the symbiotes in Spider-Man? Because that's just not hiding the fetish. What's the fucking joke? The author's thinly veiled fetish. Yeah.
For some people, it's a fetish. For others, it isn't. It's just a story device. It's just, I personally indifferent towards that particular kink.
Oh, and
So you wouldn't want a symbiote to cover your body in space goop.
Possibly. If it gives me superpowers, that'd be cool.
Understandable.
Fuse, how many
I also
symbiotes
want
are there? I don't remember.
Oh, there's like a
Oh, there's
dozen.
a ton.
Bro, there's like 3. There's the black one, the white one, and the red one.
Oh yeah, that's just barely touching the surface.
I was like,
Nope, I'm not getting into it. Nope.
I was
Come
like,
on, let me go on like my
Nope,
little own
no,
tangent, please.
nope,
Give me like
I will say the
you
only
have
ones
like
I know.
5 minutes. You know, I'm
Give me
setting
like-
a timer right now.
give me
The
like
only ones-
30 seconds.
Hold on.
I know
Hold
the
on,
names
hold on.
of are Venom and Carnage. But oh my god, in Venom 2, when she and Venom show up to save him,
There's a Venom.
She does
Oh.
look super hot, but that was not where I was going. There's also Shriek from the new Spider-Man game on the PS5.
Hey. Your 5 minutes starts
I
now.
don't need 5 minutes. I just need like 30 seconds to like gush
All right,
about my
go.
Spider-Man stuff. So there's Shriek from Spider-Man 2, who I think is Mary Jane or something. I haven't played the game yet, so don't hate on me. But what I was going to say is we just got in the last like 5 or 6 years, we got a whole arc for Venom about where the symbiotes come from, and they come from the Ultimate Darkness guy, who I can't remember his name of, who was entombed in a planet made of symbiotes, and the whole planet is run by symbiotes, and there's literally a whole species of symbiotes. So there's not just
All right,
3.
Time's up.
that was not 5 minutes.
I told him.
Well,
I
he
only
said
needed
it. He
30
said
seconds.
seconds, which he went over by like 4. So you know.
I'm good now. That was all my Spider-Man rant.
All right. Well, I'm proud of you for sticking to a somewhat manageable range.
Yeah, no, much like if a demon or like a lust demon or something wanted to inhabit my body, like I would take on a symbiote in like a split second. No questions asked. I'd just be like, yes.
Minka
Do it.
wants it. Minka wants to feel that symbiote from the inside out.
Nah, we can hang out and be friends. Unless you can go to work for me, then by all means, do your thing.
All right. I think this is a perfect time for last call. Unless you guys don't think so.
Explain what that is.
I'm waiting for you guys to say, yeah,
It's fine,
perfect
just
time.
explain.
Up
just
to you
explain
guys.
what it is.
All right, Val. I don't know if you. I believe I sent you one episode to listen to, and I don't know how far you made it into it because I know we can be annoying to listen to. But last call
Goddamn right.
is where we go through the host and the guest and see if there's any last thoughts or questions, much like or people order their last drinks for the night. And then we Ad Wiedersehen and goodbye and all that nonsense.
When
Okay,
did you
sounds
become
good.
German?
That was the first goodbye I could think of. I couldn't think of any other translated byes.
Du bist eine gebackene Pellkartoffeln.
Minka, do you know German?
A
Or
little
was
bit.
that just made up junk?
No, I know what that means.
Okay.
I took 2 years of German.
I thought you were just like making up junk for a split second there.
No, but that's my favorite insult because it's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, then we're starting with you, Minka. Last thoughts and/or questions.
Yeah. So thoughts on it is like from my experience, like because I in the place I was very heavy leather community. Like that was their identity, is the leather community, and so like occasionally I would see latex and stuff, but not nearly as much. And I feel like the latex community is kind of the same, where they're not like against leather, but like latex is the one that like is actually their thing, like what makes them horny. But like there is a lot of crossover, and you can make a lot of the same outfits out of either or, and so then it's just kind of based on what you personally like the aesthetic of that you can do. Because there's a artist that is my favorite artist, Stjepan Sejic. He created the comic Sunstone, and a lot of the outfits he does are all latex, but I do leather work. And so I actually like contacted him and stuff and have gotten permission to basically recreate things from his comic in leather. But I've always wanted to learn how to work with latex and make latex because I do like the aesthetic of it as well. I don't know that I could wear much because I overheat super easily. But yeah, like there's definitely a crossover, but liking one does not necessarily have to mean that you like the other. But they're both a lot of fun. And latex is very hard to work with and make, because it's stretchy, but like Val was saying earlier, it's unforgiving, and you have to know like your very specific measurements, because if you get it too large, then it's going to look weird and like have weird wrinkles and spots you don't want them. If you get it too small, then it's going to be basically impossible to put on. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And while making latex can be a hard thing to get started in, wearing latex is not. Like Val said, go buy a pair of gloves. Buy a pair of latex, like long arm gloves, if you want to try it out and see how it feels.
Not surgical gloves. Those are different.
Yeah. Not just a little.
That's where my mind went. So I was just like, oh yeah, it's cheap and affordable.
Yeah, not
for
the
a minute
little
I was like,
latex
oh wait,
doctor
yeah,
gloves.
they don't mean that. All right, moving on from my stage left. No, stage right? I don't know. Something. Vel, final thoughts and opinions for the night?
This was nice. It was just fun. I loved sharing my kinks and knowledge with others.
Wonderful. Always good to...
Man, what's it like being smart?
Don't ask me.
Right?
All right. Suna, last thoughts and or questions?
This is definitely something I would watch but not participate, because I also run super fucking hot and this shit suck. It's suck in normal clothes, so I couldn't imagine trying on latex. The content brain is like, that would be some fun pictures if I could get some latex super fucking shiny, but you know.
I feel like a photo shoot with latex, which is just would be fun.
Yeah, I'd love to try it, but you know, don't know anyone around, so.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And I have no final thoughts or questions because you guys covered everything. Minka. Nope.
Yeah, me.
No.
So this is just because I feel like I have to for my best friend here, because she had an experience that she has never forgotten. And so if you wear latex and you're in public, when you take it off and like try to get the sweat out, don't flap it around or like dump it right next to people, because they don't want to get hit with all your
Jesus
gross
Christ.
sweat.
That's gross.
No, that's
So,
gonna unlock a kink or fetish.
Yeah,
for
well,
somebody.
if that's a kink for somebody, sure. But again, consent.
Exactly.
Oh God, I can barely deal with my own sweat. Having somebody else's sweat near me in that vast amount of quantity, it would make me hurl. All right, thank you, Minka, for that horrible thought.
Always.
So, Val, would you like to plug where all these wonderful listeners and people out in the audience can find you?
Well, they can find me at twitch.tv/Mother Velzea. I try to stream nearly almost daily. I've been currently going through the Dark Souls series that FromSoft has made. I'm currently up to Bloodborne and doing the DLC now. You can also find me on Twitter at Twitter Mother Velzea. I may not pop up because Elon Musk doesn't like the sex workers, so you may have to go through Google to find me there.
So as for us, you are clearly listening to us somewhere. But if you'd like to listen to us elsewhere, you can find us on Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, wherever the hell else you can listen to podcasts. As for finding our social medias, you can find us at Lusty Lounge on Facebook, Twitter, somewhere else. My brain feels like it's forgetting somewhere. But if you would like to send us a few bucks because you feel sorry for us, you can also send us some money on Ko-Fi. Coffee. Crap.
Thank you. You said it right the second time.
Yep. Anywhere from a few shekels to millions would be appreciated.
Yeah, and you get cool bonus content, like this clip right here. The boy very clearly showed interest in the older lady, and the older lady seemed like she was about to start to reciprocate, and everyone went, hey, yo, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, no, it's not like that, I promise.
Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Everybody else say their goodbyes.
Mwah.
Okay, bye.
Oh, also, don't let the door slam on your way out.
I'm still waiting for my Appletini.